Welcome back to Blinded and Breakdown. Our first item is about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. The A-list actress was barred from her husband's latest premiere. Just end the marriage already. I don't want any family to fall apart, and I would hate to see them get divorced, but I mean, damn, they've had a good run. Between their children, all their businesses, their scandals, like I could see why they're exhausted or why there may be tension within their relationship. Ryan Reynolds is good enough at making himself look bad on the red carpet. Remember when he was scolding that child?
Oh, what's that? Hi, little guy. What's up? What's going on? I know. It's like I get halfway down there, I'd be like, I'm a monster. I know. I'm so sorry. What's your question for me, buddy?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Let's skip to the question.
Why is there so much Chipotle mayo on your divorce in Texas?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I wish I had some control over that. But you know what I can do? I can send a strongly worded letter to the chef over at Tim Hortons. Consider it done, young man. What's your name? Liam? Okay, Liam. I'll make it downright vicious. But I'm gonna just say it's from you, though.
Any of your iconic lines inspired by John?
So I don't know, maybe he realized that having Blake Lively there isn't going to help him either. Wow, it's really bad then. That's crazy if this is true. I've never been a fan of Blake or Ryan, but they have 4 young children, which makes this all very sad. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to see a family fall apart. And, you know, I'm sure their children are completely unaware of what's going on in the media. At least I would hope so. Barred, that's pretty harsh. I think most of the public views them as an it couple, and it seems like they'd be better off appearing together, even if they aren't getting along. But what do I know? Let me know if you guys are going to see Ryan Reynolds' project. John Candy, I Like Me. He is a producer on the film, and to be honest, I would think Blake would want to be out, especially because Taylor Swift was kind of giving her a shout out in her song Cancelled. It kind of seems like a good time to be Blake if Taylor is on your side still. Reports said that Blake and Taylor's relationship was halted due to the lawsuit with Justin Baldoni, but looking at Cancelled, the song on Taylor's album, I feel like they could totally be friends and the media has it all wrong. As far as Ryan goes, he's as much of this lawsuit as Blake is, so I don't want him acting like he's better than thou because he was there scolding Justin Baldoni and he's really made himself look like a jerk. I mean, he made a joke in a film because he was so bothered by Justin Baldoni. So really, Ryan, it's your fault as much as it is hers.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have allegedly not been living together for almost a year. The Justin Baldoni lawsuit has definitely come in between the two and their marriage is in trouble. But they don't want to announce their split yet because their public image is already so bad. And the blind item reads, the Canadian actor and his wife haven't shared a roof for almost a year. They barely talk now and won't announce the split yet because it will only make their already shaky public image look worse. And again, this is allegedly Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And the related headline reads, Blake Lively feels humiliated by how Ryan Reynolds has been treating her lately, says source. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship is definitely going through a rough time. Their marriage has become quote-unquote toxic, and they fight most of the time. According to sources, the couple is at each other's throats and fighting around the clock. It's constant, they fight all the time, a source close to the couple revealed to Shutter Scoop. They further revealed the F-bombs aren't playful anymore like before. They have turned nasty and it's wearing them both down.
Our next blind item is about Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. This A-list actress put fake numbers in her recent legal filing. Their actual income is roughly 20 times more per month. Now, I've been saying for months that these two were headed towards a divorce, but now that we're finally here, we've got to figure out some of the logistics. And there's been a lot of money thrown around in this relationship. I remember seeing an article where Nicole Kidman paid Keith Urban in the beginning of their relationship so that he would go to rehab. And it wasn't cheap either. I think it was like a few $100,000. This person wrote in the comments, their prenup, I kid you not, had a cocaine clause in the instance of divorce. She said she would pay him $600,000 for every year married, as long as he remained sober. I guess you could say it was nice that she was advocating for his sobriety, but putting it into their marriage contract seems a little bit overkill. It seems like Nicole has undressed in almost all her roles in the last 5 or so years. I highly doubt anyone at this point has not seen her nude. This person pointed out that it's not like Keith is broke. What's weirder is that they've clearly been planning this for a while, given how they've already had a custody agreement set. But instead of doing a joint press statement, it seems like they're both sending their sources to the media to trash each other. So I don't know what happened recently, but up until this point, they've been cool about figuring out like the parental agreements and the custody. But something happened abruptly in their divorce planning to where now they've turned on each each other. It was reported though that they basically kept their earnings separate and both are keeping what they earned, which is pretty unheard of when it comes to Hollywood couples, but maybe they did structure their life that way, which allowed them to separate easier. I mean, I've always felt like they've lived a separate life, so am I surprised that they had separate like accounts and incomes? Not really. Now, Keith Urban has been performing recently, and he did change the lyrics of some of his songs to kind of shade Nicole. Listen.
Don't take your space and your stupid bullshit reasons.
Let's get into some of these numbers. So Nicole's lawyer prepared a child support worksheet that was submitted, and it looks like they both listed Nicole and Keith's monthly income at $100,000 each. That is crazy. So neither of them are getting payouts. There's no child support because they both, clearly have enough. E! News reported that Keith was the one who decided to end the relationship, and we spoke about how Nicole was trying to hold on to it and save them, but Keith was clearly checked out. And I think everyone in Nashville is aware as well, because they've been talking about him treating his new home like a bachelor pad, walking around town with a new woman. I know, it's shocking. He is dating another woman. I don't know why everyone thinks that he's gay, but I don't know, maybe Nicole's gonna have a new change in her life. She applied to go and be a resident in Portugal. Remember, Keith did not apply, so maybe she's gonna move over there, explore herself. I feel like she probably has some trauma she needs to unpack after being in a relationship with Tom Cruise and then Keith Urban.
This divorce is about to get real messy real fast. Keith is putting out all of the we just drifted apart, and she didn't provide me with the emotional stability that I need as a late 50s man in a man life crisis with the mental age of a toddler. Apparently not enough emotional support. It turns out there's this whole clause, right? This clause that for every year he stayed sober, he'd get between $600K and $900K per year of marriage. She needed to make this a contract to keep him sober. So basically 19 years of her having to work like a dog to keep this man on track, and he's basically just crapped all over it because apparently he's moved on already. She also asked for 306 days a year of children, which is basically a residential parent, right? She's the main parent. He signed off on that, no issues. And this happens on stage. Seems that he has a new guitarist. She's been around for the last year, since 2024. She's 25. He took one of his songs, Fighter, that was made for Nicole, and he normally says baby in it for Nicole, and he changed that to Maggie. Yeah, really weird, and it's really weird that she posted it.
Before we get to the next blind item, I wanted to announce that I had a new show that launched today with my best friend Spill Sesh, aka Christy. You guys can go and check it out on the Poppity channel right now. I will link it below so you guys can go and watch. We are interviewing with Trisha, but I have a trailer for the show and I wanted to include it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it and then we're gonna get back to the blind items.
We are not doing that. No!
Those are fighting words. Disgusting.
Oh, you didn't.
I've never been in a Tesla like this. It's so bougie.
Bougie.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a bad gay.
You lied. They're gonna come after us.
Yeah, he's really gonna want to date you after this.
So sick. What? Okay, we're playing a game here.
Let's bring in the wheel.
I'm scared. This is crazy.
We're getting into your love life now.
No.
But you have to answer it.
Did you like me, didn't know me, or did not like me?
My name is Sloan Hooks.
And I'm Christy Cook.
Get ready for Poppity.
Wait, I already finished mine. I was so hungry.
I've been yapping.
Now, we've got a few Taylor Swift blind items because she's gotten herself in trouble recently. This blind item includes Taylor Swift and the Jacksons. You don't want to mess with the Jackson family. Speaking of the A-list singer, lawyers for the notoriously litigious pop family are circling around the A-list singer after hearing the guitar riff on the singer's song that sounds very familiar to the one on their family's hit smash. Plus, the one named group named after a candy or someone manic are also about to sue. Well, good thing Taylor Swift has that Taylor Swift money because she could go and settle with everyone. This person commented, wow, Taylor got lazy and didn't pay the Jackson 5 and the Pixie songwriters? Terrible, and always compensate who you borrow from. This person added, I heard the Jackson-ish song on her album and I thought, oh, she sampled their song and I assumed that they'd get money for that. On Reddit, somebody pointed out that every song has a head nod to another artist who battled with their record company or label. like George Michael, Jackson 5, the Ronettes, Nirvana, the Pixies. Another person added that Taylor knows what she's doing. It's not so much that people use other people's music, it's that they never give the original artist credit. Why don't they just give credit where credit is due? Good for the Jackson family and any other artist who can argue that Taylor interpolated their music. Long time coming after what happened to Olivia Rodrigo.
In 2021, Olivia Rodrigo made the huge mistake of saying that she was inspired by Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer when she wrote Deja Vu. That resulted in Taylor's team demanding and getting a writing credit for a song they had no part in making, because she didn't even know Olivia Rodrigo before that song came out. Fast forward to Life of a Showgirl, you listen to Ruin the Friendship, which by the way is the title of a Demi Lovato song from 2017, no writing credit, and the opening sounds just like Lenny Kravitz's It Ain't Over Till It's Over. That is way more similar than Olivia Rodrigo's Deja Vu is to Cruel Summer, which again, Cruel Summer is the name of a famous Bananarama song. Taylor Swift gave them no credit. Bananarama might as well have coined the term Cruel Summer, and then Taylor Swift took it over. And I think the only reason that Taylor Swift gave any credit on father figure to George Michael is one, because it went viral on TikTok, and two, because George Michael is dead, and that would be incredibly disrespectful, and the gays would not have it.
Now, the song that got the Jackson family all upset is titled Would, and it's Taylor's song about Travis Kelce and his big would you know what. But pretty much everyone who heard this song instantly recognized the Jackson 5's song, I Want You Back. It looks like entertainment lawyers are already reviewing potential copyright claims on behalf of Berry Gordy and the corporation. It does look like Taylor's trying to cash in a little extra in this album by forcing fans to buy her entire album instead of allowing them to purchase the songs individually. So if you like one of her songs, you can't just go buy it, you have to buy all 12 of them, including Would. As I said earlier, George Michael is also a victim of Taylor Swift. Her song Father Figure opens with the title and some lyrics from his 1987 hit. So it looks like she did get permission from at least his estate to do that. I don't know why she wouldn't go and do this with the Jackson 5. Here's a mashup of a bunch of different artists who have very similar songs to Taylor Swift's new album.
Am I the only one that thinks all of these new Taylor Swift songs sound like other songs? Wait, let me show you.
Damn, Taylor, you better get your checkbook ready because those songs all sound the same. Our next item is again about Taylor. I'm not sure who convinced the A-list singer she needed all the fillers and Botox. Wait, Taylor? But they should be fired and the singer should find someone who's much better to do that kind of work. This comment reads, I thought Taylor looked puffy, so unnecessary. She's young and beautiful. Well, Taylor did an interview recently on the Graham Norton show where she warned fans to back away from filler. Now, I never really thought of Taylor Swift having plastic surgery because she kind of like always looks the same to me. But I mean, she's like 35 years old. Maybe she does need to do some, tune-ups. And one person called her out on Twitter writing, Taylor, I'm saying this as an older sister, back away from the filler. Somebody else added that Taylor has way too much Botox. She must have topped up at Selena's wedding. I mean, she and Selena are both pretty frozen. She got that face from Madame Tussauds wax factory. Okay, be nice. Seriously, she looks like a wax figure. I mean, let's put a picture of her up on the screen. I didn't really notice that she had a lot of fillers, maybe because I'm typically used to seeing people who have fillers like with big lips. But Taylor's recent appearance got people talking. They're also considering other procedures she may have had. Like one person wrote, honestly, I liked her eyes before, but she definitely had the most well-done blepharoplasty I've ever seen, which is when they take some of the skin from your eyelid and cut it out to kind of like open your eye some more. We found a video of someone going through the different procedures that Taylor Swift has had over the years. And you know what? Like plastic surgery is really common, especially in LA. So I wouldn't be surprised, especially with her being in the public eye for so long, that she would like discreetly go under. And we don't see her that often in public. So it's not like bizarre for her to go away for a few months and to heal.
Your English teacher probably hasn't had 6 figures worth of plastic surgery, but Taylor Swift has, and we should talk about it. 2 plastic surgeries that I think are indisputable that she's had, a breast augmentation and a rhinoplasty, 2008. Here's Taylor Swift's OG face with her OG nose that her mother gave her. At this time, she's got a little bit more baby fat in her face, but two things stand out to me that I want to take note of and point out to you. A thin upper lip, pretty thin lower lip, and then her nose, which she has wide nasal bones. You can see the outline of them right there. And then a fairly decently wide bulbous tip. When she first started, she also was very flat-chested. She chose to get a breast augmentation. And here they are, what she is showing off with a fan in the selfie that you can find anywhere on the internet. Take a look at her old nose again. So you can see that the light catches the eye so that it kind of makes this shape right there. It's a wide bulbous tip after that last photo I showed you. And it's subtle, but her tip is definitely narrowed. The dorsoscetic lines have narrowed, her tip has narrowed, it's less bulbous, less wide. She also has a touch of lip filler here around 2015, 2016. And she knew to use her COVID time wisely. She came back with new breasts and a stunning, more refined nose. Much larger, and you can see they almost meet in the middle. They sit high on her chest. They're significantly larger size than before. Liposuctioned a little bit of fat and grafted it to the upper fold of her breast to smooth that area out. I think she's had a little bit of cheek filler and a little bit more lip filler. But now that we're in the WAG era, I don't know if she decided to do fat grafting to her cheeks or it's just filler. When you do fat grafting to the cheeks to fill them, about half of it goes away. So it's common to overfill, expecting this moment will fade with time. So it's possible that she did that, and now she's waiting. I think the amount of projection is even more obvious when she's smiling and laughing kind of from the side profile. You can tell that there's something in her cheeks.
Our next item is about 50 Cent. It reads, the $50 rapper thinks the tree limb won't break that is holding him. He's really testing that theory. We all know that 50 Cent has been working on a Diddy documentary where he claims new allegations will be brought forward. They have had a long-standing beef. They've actually been in a relationship with the same woman before. There's a lot of tension there, and 50 Cent has been more than happy seeing Diddy go under. But a lot of people are saying, hey, 50, you shouldn't be talking so much, because you might find yourself in the same situation. 50 Cent has been feuding with Diddy for a couple of decades, and he does not seem to be afraid of Diddy or getting involved in controversy. And I don't know, Diddy, I feel like the fact that 50 Cent was able to sell this to Netflix shows that he's got a lot of big players on his side. 50 Cent was joking on social media about Diddy having a speaking arrangement already set for like this week because he thought he'd be getting out of prison. 50 Cent said, hey, to whoever was booking Diddy for a speaking engagement, I heard he won't be able to make it, but I'm available. 50 Cent also shared a fake letter that he would send to the judge in Diddy's case saying that he's scared of Diddy and that he's been a bad man and they need to keep him locked up. I mean, this kind of like mimics some of the letters that the judge did receive from Gina or from Cassie. Some people supporting Diddy, others not. But 50 Cent, he was pretty much trolling. I just know that he's having the most fun like typing out these things and posting it on social media. He just better hope that his time never comes.
You know that one person Diddy hates to see coming is 50 Cent. He took to Instagram and wrote a fake letter to the judge on why he believes that Diddy should stay locked up. Caption to this post is, this is my letter to the judge on the Diddy case. What? I'm scared for my life. Because if you remember, during the trial, it was brought up that Diddy allegedly wanted to unalive 50 Cent. Most of us know there is another connection here between somebody and 50 Cent that testified against Diddy. 50 Cent was brought up quite a few times during Diddy's trial. 50 Cent says, Dear Judge Sumeranian, I have had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class in there. As you're already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, dealing with his own R-word allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyways, Diddy is only going to return to hiring more male workers and keeping the most baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon.
Our next blind item is about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Some of you guys were really upset with my video about Nicki and Cardi, and I want to take a moment to apologize. I don't have loyalty to anyone here, and I wasn't trying to pick Cardi B's side. I was just a little bit, sensitive when it came to Nicki talking about her kids, but you know what? Cardi's done some messed up things too, so just know, at the end of the day, I'm looking at both of them the same way, especially after Cardi B said that she sacrificed her cousin for fame. I've had that in my back pocket for years. I've been waiting to talk about that. You guys know how I feel about the Illuminati, but let's get back to our regular programming. The stands of the foreign-born former A-list rapper / lover of PDFs and lover of killers are convinced that she's going to sue the rapper that she's been having beef with. but she won't. Somebody asked, who are these trashy lowlifes? Which, you know what? Trashy is a word. I wouldn't say that they're trashy. There's something though. I mean, Nicki faced a storm of criticism after she called Cardi B's daughter a roach and a monkey. Nicki did issue an apology, a public apology. I don't think she wanted to. We know she didn't want to. She said, "Dear culture, the truth is I did this for a bigger purpose and one day you'll understand. You're a cute child with lots of kids. Have fun, little funny looking gums before they grow into all their features." Oh my gosh. So, okay, not much of an apology. Cardi said, "Let this be the last time you mention my kids," which, Cardi did bring Nicki Minaj's son into this, saying that he's nonverbal. One thing about Nicki Minaj is that when she starts on her rants, nobody's safe. And so many people have been dragged into this beef, which kind of works in Cardi B's favor because she's getting more attention for her album. Probably something that Nicki Minaj isn't happy about, but she cannot resist. She did bring up a Quavo and Offset, and I wanted to include this TikTok. I found it interesting because they explained this connection to Takeoff's death. He was one of the group members who was shot dead on Halloween night.
Quavo, was it worth it, dummy? No career, Takeoff gone? Just in case y'all might not know what she's talking about, let me show y'all. Quavo and Takeoff did a music video called Messy, and in the beginning of the music video, they were waking up after having a bad dream. And the music video is their bad dream. Y'all peep the Halloween decorations. So one of the scenes in the music video is a gambling table that turns into a fight. Every music video is planned months in advance, and every prop you see is intentional. In another scene, Quavo's on the bed holding a gun and a contract. Y'all, these props have nothing to do with the lyrics or the music video. Had to get a close-up so y'all know I'm not bluffing. Then lastly, there's a scene with Takeoff standing next to a rest in peace sign with the Grim Reaper. Everything is intentional. Takeoff was murdered Halloween night, the most demonic night of the year, over a dice game that turned into a fight. And I know it says November 1st. He was killed at 2:30 a.m. Halloween night. The one thing I do find ironic is that they changed the release date. This is not the original drop date. This is the actual date that Takeoff was murdered.
Our next blind item is about Meghan Markle and Jeff Bezos. The illiterate one used her security to try and let her know when the wealthy bookseller was leaving his hotel. She really wanted to run into him and pitch her new show idea directly to him, and to also have one of her team photograph them together. Meghan Markle's kind of like how Kim Kardashian was back in the day. She's trying to find herself in the right place, the right time. She's trying to, I guess, hustle. She's not getting those royalties anymore. In the comment section, this person writes, "Harry had a stalker. I bet Meghan Markle is so mad she'll run right out and get her own stalker now, never to be outdone." Noah writes that Meg gets visibly excited when she's near billionaires. It gets her dripping like a George Foreman grill. That imagery was a little bit too much. She's a stalker. What a psychotic mess she is. Jeff Bezos isn't going to have anything to do with the used and abused yacht middle-aged freak. Another person wrote in the comments that they find it disgusting that Meghan was the only one seen laughing at a model who fell at a runway show. Nobody else was laughing, but Meghan at her first Paris Fashion Week is cackling in the model's face.
At one point she sat on the front row and a model tripped and she burst out laughing. And then she realized that was obviously quite a cruel thing to do, so she sort of covered it up.
That is so tasteless. I feel like this will be her last Paris Fashion Week. This headline feels like the beginning of a feud between Meghan and Lauren. It reads, "Meghan will never be Lauren Sanchez, as she has rules to follow." Bethany Frankel said that they both became famous when they were together. He was a dork before he met Lauren. Talking about Jeff. He had money, but Lauren was like, "Honey, I'll show you how to spend that money." She bagged the elephant. She's the Meghan Markle with no rules. I've said this before, but I feel like the Bezos wedding was a launch pad for Lauren and Jeff Bezos to be treated like celebrities. Like, they're at Paris Fashion Week, they're hanging out with celebrities, they're trying to be in the public eye so badly. And I think that this may infuriate like Meghan Markle, because now Lauren Sanchez is positioning herself kind of where Meghan Markle would love to be. But I'm sorry, Meghan, Prince Harry is no Jeff Bezos.
Meghan Markle was said to be absolutely furious for not getting the coveted golden ticket to the wedding of the century between billionaire Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Consumed with jealousy over Lauren's skyrocketing rise, the Duchess of Sussex supposedly made some strategic posts on social media trying to steal the spotlight that same weekend. The absence of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry from the VIP list of one of the most luxurious weddings in recent memory shocked even most of the guests, including some of the biggest stars in Hollywood. While Lauren Sanchez was shining in Venice, rocking a diamond ring worth millions, and ruling the scene right next to billionaire Jeff Bezos, Meghan was watching from afar, humiliated and left out, trying to boost her lifestyle brand and those artisanal jams of hers, which are now being accused of being mass-produced with backing from Netflix.
This next blind item is about Brad Pitt and an actress named Marion. Speaking of A-list actors, this one, who took about a decade to get divorced, recently hung out with the secret child he had with the foreign-born actress. This comment reads, "A kid that doesn't hate him yet? Cool." Another person said that Brad knocked her up while filming Allied. Now, this is some old tea because this blind item is new, saying that Brad Pitt had hung out with this actress, but this article is like a decade old. A French magazine claimed that Marion is pregnant with her second child, and this would supposedly be Brad Pitt's baby. Marion at the time was in a committed relationship with a director named Goulamé. So she was really upset when people started saying that she and Brad Pitt were having some romance. Angelina Jolie wasn't really happy about it either. Angie couldn't handle Brad's intimate scenes with Marion. Her jealousy was out of control. Brad tried for months to reassure her and calm her anxiety, but it simply did not work. She said her intuition was telling her that he was cheating. Angie has struggled with insecurities over Brad's infidelity for years, but she was never as jealous over a co-star as she was with Marion. She was always paranoid that Brad would do to her the same he did with Jen. If you guys aren't familiar with Marion, here is a clip of Brad Pitt and her on their press tour for Allied.
Every day she was so complimentary of my French. She was incredibly impressed.
I was. I mean, I know what it is.
Fantastique. It was like birds singing, wasn't it? Like on a Sunday morning, every time I spoke French.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Marianne Beauséjour is known to be the life of the party. And I would describe Marion, very similar, very vivacious. It's terrible to say these nice things in front of you. I'm not used to it.
Say it in French. I won't understand anything.
A great partner, because this is a definite two-hander, and she definitely needs someone who could do the heavy lifting on certain days and specific scenes. But a real gem of a human being.
Our next blind item is about Sarah Jessica Parker. This three-named actress continues to pitch a version of her long-running show that would star none other than former co-stars who she thinks caused the show to be canceled. Comment below if you guys were keeping up with the show Just Like That, which was the reboot of Sex and the City. This comment reads, "Oh Sarah, straight up, it's you nobody likes. Times have changed since anyone wanted to emulate that show. I know she's chomping at the bit to get acting again." This comment's mean. In case Sarah Jessica Parker sees this, nobody wants to see your horse face or watch your woke garbage show. You ruined the show. Okay, well, Sarah Jessica is a very beautiful woman, but Velvet said, "I never understood her allure in the first place." Now, it looks like Sarah's having a hard time giving up her iconic character, Carrie Bradshaw. It was very difficult for her. She said, "I'm not certain I understand what that decision means, the show being axed, because I could just be on hiatus." I mean, it seems like she's trying to hold out hope. However, a source close to the show rubbished her allegations to the Daily Mail, saying that Sarah has been on the chopping block since last season because Shay Diaz was annoying and held no value anymore. And just like that, reportedly saw its ratings plummet over the course of its run. Shortly after the cancellation, sources said that Shay Diaz, the storyline, is what tipped the scales for the show to be scrapped, which I'm not very I don't know what happened. What happened to Shay? Comment below, why is everyone so upset about that?
The cancellation of And Just Like That allegedly has Sarah Jessica Parker fuming. Last week, Michael Patrick King announced that this would be the last final season of And Just Like That, season 3, and they said that they didn't want to tell the fans in advance that it was the final season because they didn't want it to overshadow the season. But now the rumors are swirling that it was an actual cancellation of the show and that Sarah Jessica Parker is so upset. Allegedly, there was no conversation, no discussion. They were just simply told that they were pulling the plug on the show, and she just feels very upset and disrespected. She said something along the lines of, "After all the money I've made for them," because she also said that she helped build this network and make it what it is today because of the popularity of Sex and the City back in the day. And also, they went on to make 2 major movies, brought it back for a full 3 seasons of And Just Like That. So apparently she was blindsided by this and she thought the series was going to go on. And I think this aligns more with what I thought happened because it doesn't seem like they would hold out on telling everybody that it would be over until the last minute. Even them saying that they told the cast last Thursday, that makes no sense. You wouldn't tell your actors that they don't have jobs next season.
Our next blind item is about Ray J. Yes, he's crashing out, but the celebrity frequent PORN star is about to tell the world about the golden shower scene that got cut. Well, I know Kimberly won't be happy about this one. We all know that Ray J's been hit with a defamation lawsuit thanks to Kim and Kris Jenner. And the lawyers are combing through all of Ray J's bad behavior and including it in their suit to make him look like a bad guy and a liar, which he has been pretty mentally unstable for some time, but I think that they're really trying to make him ruin his reputation to ultimately win this, because I do think the Kardashians have something to hide. I hope we get to the bottom of how the tape was leaked, the tape of Ray J and Kim, because there were supposedly several tapes. Kris Jenner procured the deal and the contracts, everything was handled legally, so there was no leak. And I honestly think that Ray J deserves them admitting that truth, because forever he's been known as this creep who leaked the tape with Kim, but Kris is really the creep who did it.
So long ago, all I remember is how it smells. I'm just playing. I didn't mean that either. I think more of the question is, how different would we all be? I don't know. Probably more people would be going to college and, you know what I'm saying, getting an education to be successful. There might not be any OnlyFans and other things like that, other opportunities like that. So, I mean, are we a part of the cure? Are we a part of the disease?
Not how it smells. Ew, I cannot imagine. But I want to hear what you guys think of this week's episode of Blind Item Breakdown. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you guys go and check out Poppity. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.